What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're working on the LS M3 again, and after the changes that we make today, this thing should be ready to go on the road. So what we're working on today is going to be getting this radiator that it's got some holes in it. It does not work very good, and it is an auto radiator, so it has an extra cooler in there that's kind of blocking flow over here for the transmission, even though this is obviously an LS swapped manual transmission. So we've got a new one from CSF. And also while we're in there, we are going to be replacing the core support, because the current core support that we're running does have a weld here from the front end collision that it was in. This is the OEM one, however, I don't like the look of this, so we're just gonna run the new one. So let's go ahead, start taking the front of this thing apart. I'm gonna start with the headlights, then probably remove the crash bar and get that core support out. We're gonna drain the coolant and get the new one in, fill it all up. So before I was able to do that, I had to pull off the crash bar, the headlight, and just pretty much get all of this stuff out of the way so that I had access to what I actually wanted to replace. So far, we got the good old crash bar over there off. I'll show you guys something weird that they did on this. So this plate on this side is like tapped into here, and then on this side, it was just kind of on the car. So they are not very consistent on some of the things they did. I also got both headlights out, and this one, definitely a little bit messed up. This one, the ballast is held on by a DIY strap, so that's good. So now that all of that was out of my way, the only thing that I had to take off from there was the core support and get the radiator out to drain it. So that's what we did here. So it was full of coolant, at least. Yeah. So we got the entire front end off, and right now we are kind of trying to decide if we want to change the way that this coolant is routed, because right now we do have the heater core still in the back, but there's just a lot of tubing, and like the routing is kind of weird. Like this comes from over here, goes into the top of this, it goes into here. I don't know. Something just doesn't seem right. That's what Zach's saying. So
not seem right. It's a lot of extra that you don't like. There's
really
a lot
need.
of hose clamps, and like even this is like,
yeah,
you're gonna pull air.
Right.
Like if you're not pulling air, you're either leaking. One of the two. Either you're pulling air, you're leaking, and it's like, the more simplified you make it, the easier it is to bleed it, the easier it is to get everything working right, and then you can add stuff. We just have to look to see what the routing is. I'm not a professional in LS cooling routing, so we gotta make sure we can just loop it to there without it messing up the cooling.
Yeah, because this dude had a bunch of like weird burping problems. Like it would never get all of the air out of it, he claims. But there's something definitely wrong with
I will say there was a 3-inch hole in the radiator.
There was a hole in the radiator, yeah.
That wasn't leaking, which I have no clue. I've never seen.
Yeah. No, I'll show them, yeah. Yeah, so this is that hole that he was talking about. As you can see, this is like literally a finger wide. Like, dude, this is this is terrible, man. And then this right here. And yeah, I mean, this thing is just all gummed up too. We're probably not gonna run a condenser for now, just to get the cooling all the way good. And then maybe eventually we'll add AC again. So as we kept taking stuff off and reorganizing things, we unfortunately noticed a pretty big, I guess not really issue, but just something with the car here. But it did not stop us from working, so here's what we found next. All right, so we are getting the new radiator in right now. As you can tell, it's got a blue finish. No, I'm just kidding. This is to protect all the fins while we mess with everything. And we also, should I tell them?
No.
Leave it a mystery?
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
So we found something about the car. We're gonna leave it as a mystery for now, because anytime, if anyone saw this in person, it would be all they think about. I don't want that to be it. It's fine. It's just funny.
Listen, it's a race car.
Yeah.
It's a race car.
No, I don't really care. It's totally fine. You might see us on the time lapse if you look close enough what we were looking at. It's fine. It's within spec. So yeah, we're gonna hook this all up. We're gonna change the routing of some of this. Yeah, we're gonna be taking this one completely off, and then we're just gonna run this triple straight into there for now, because what we don't know what we're gonna do with is this, like, what would you even call this?
It's like an idle air control valve.
Okay, yes.
Coolant, I don't know if it's supposed to go, but it's supposed to go through the throttle body, which it's not doing.
Yeah, so we're gonna mess with that another time, because we just wanna get this running. It's a little bit late out, as you can tell, it's raining, dark. But yeah, it's good. So I'm gonna go ahead, keep getting this on, and we'll see what happens. So we started filling up the coolant reservoir, or I guess the radiator, with coolant because we were really just trying to get out of here that night. It started getting late. We started buttoning things up. All right, so for now, what we're gonna do is we have everything kind of wired up, but we're gonna have to change those hoses that we rerouted because they're not good. So just for now, we're gonna get this thing started, move it out, pick this back up tomorrow, and hopefully finish it up. All right, so it is the next day, and as you can see, we have a big box of parts. Hopefully we got everything right. We went through and kind of planned what we're gonna do with most of the mess around here. We got an intake. We are actually gonna end up keeping this wire for the coolant that comes out of the top of the motor, because after doing some further research, Zach watched a video that actually explained how if you block that off, there's a chance that like all of the coolant pressure gets stuck in the, which part of the engine?
You just essentially it keeps an air bubble in the head, and then you can never get the air out of the head.
Yeah, so this did have an air bubble issue. So the previous owner actually had that specific piece that helps with air bubbles routed incorrectly. So we're thinking that that is probably the reason why he had air bubbles. At least that's what I'm thinking.
And the coupler going from a 5/16 to a 1/2 inch.
Oh yeah, with a brake line in between. Yeah, it was just a bunch of weird stuff.
So actually, that's probably why I was pulling air. Because this actually,
and this thing being so like, just like drippy. No matter
well,
what.
This was ran backwards.
Yeah.
So this is ran to the feet of the heater core, which means it would just be, it could be pulling air if this clamp's loose. It would pull air.
But yeah, we have a ton of new parts. We'll go through and show everything individually, but radiator is in. I'll show you guys real quick. It does have the CSF logo on it, which is kind of cool. I kind of wish it didn't have that, but I guess it's there. So
I mean, you'll have a fan in front of it. So
that's true. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead, start opening parts up, and see how many things we got right. Hopefully we got everything right, but we're just free balling right now. All right, so this is how stuff is looking currently. As you can tell, I mean, just running this line just a little bit cleaner made 10 times the difference. And right now, what I'm working on right now is just spinning these hose clamps down so that you don't see all this leftover stuff just sitting on top. It'll make it look a lot cleaner. I mean, you can see right here, much cleaner than over here. So that's what we're gonna do. And then we also have this. I don't know if I showed that on the video yet, but we ran this to just block this off pretty much. This is coming straight into this now. And we also got rid of the heater core in the back. So all those wires that were on the side are now completely gone. All right, so right now what we are working on is getting this intake kind of cut because it ended up being a lot longer this way than what we had kind of anticipated. But overall, I am super, super happy with how this complete engine bay is just turning out. Like getting rid of like small things just definitely add up over time, and this thing should run a lot cooler now. Just from like, even just fixing the routing of that one thing up top, like whatever the steam tube is called, I think that just changing that alone probably fixed the cooling issue. Now this thing's just gonna run cold, which is perfect. The intake mocked up and it looks way better than I thought it would. I thought that this was going to look like extremely janky, but it doesn't. Like this actually looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Fabrication genius right here.
Well, we'll shorten it. So
yeah, so this is gonna move up probably like that much, right?
So the MAF can get plugged in.
Yeah.
So to go there.
This needs to move, yeah, just about that much.
So it'll go in there and then it'll put the air filter. I want the air filter like right about
there.
here.
Yeah, where that.
Because then I can go heat shield without having to go behind the radiator.
Yeah. No idea where we left off last, but as you can see, intake is completely on now. This is routed perfectly. And right now what we're doing is, so far we got rid of one extra wire. This like, what did you call it? A charcoal,
it's either for like a return for like a charcoal canister or something. It's just a vent tube that goes back to the gas tank.
Okay, yeah.
It does
just something in here for no reason.
Yeah, it's I believe it goes to the charcoal. It used to be an old charcoal canister. I don't know. It was just laying in here, so
yeah.
I went under there, made sure it didn't go to anything important, and just cut it. Worst case, I can get back to it. So.
And then we got rid of. There was another wire running like all the way over here. This one. We just ran it right up with this one, tucked everything. Oh yeah, you also tucked all of these wires too, that goes all the way to the
so these one underneath
IT, MAF. But all of the small things are definitely adding up. So I just want to update the video because I don't know what you guys saw last. It's kind of hard to show every little tiny thing that we do, but hopefully you guys are keeping along with it. Right now the car is jacked up because he was underneath it finding where those lines went. Dude, it looks so much better over here. Once we get those brake lines reran,
yeah, we'll run
over here will be nice.
Like we'll just actually buy like the little bender and everything and make them super nice, get them mounted to the firewall.
Yep.
And then it's gonna be really nice.
So I think next what we're gonna do, where is it? Right here. Next up is going to be the overflow for the coolant. And well, I think he's gonna figure out where this is gonna mount the best. And then I'm gonna work on getting the whole front end put back together. This thing is going back together really, really nicely. We got this pusher fan actually pushing now thanks to me. Basically all we did is there was like a little circuit board in there. If you guys remember in the last video, we tried to reverse the polarity, but it wouldn't let us. So what I did was notice that there was a board there, got rid of the board, reversed the polarity on just a fan motor, and now it is pushing air pretty good. So the next thing that we're gonna do is replace these spark plug wires with some, what are these called? MSD? Yeah, some nice MSD ones, and we also got new vibrant, what would you call this? Like heat protector things?
Heat sleeves.
Yeah, because these ones are built in and they're also trash, as you can tell by them like literally being on fire multiple times. Big cloud. Yeah, so you can tell by the way that oh my god, bro. So we just found out that the car died because the alternator exciter wire is not plugged in to anything. So the battery died, and we're thinking, because he started pulling, I don't know if I got on camera or not, but he started pulling coil packs, and the car like didn't really change how it was running that much until you unplug two. So what they think is that it was like, what he's like pulling sparks or like what?
So if ECU everything isn't seeing the right amount of voltage, my guess is it was pulling spark, or it just not enough voltage to run everything, fans, spark plugs, and everything. So we're like start the chop, and then we get really like not sputtery, but like sound like a helicopter, which it really shouldn't do.
Right.
And you should notice when I pull a spark plug wire, like pull a connector off, a coil pack.
Yeah, no, there was no difference when he pulled. Didn't you pull like a whole side off at one point?
I pulled two cylinders off next to each other, so it should have started shaking, and it wasn't shaking.
It wasn't.
Even if it's like, even with a big cam, it'll do something, and it was. Okay. It really wasn't acting. So it's like it's acting like it's running on like 6 cylinders.
So hopefully this is not a major headache.
No, you just start chasing it down. Like, we don't know what spark plugs are in it. We don't know.
Well, if it was not getting the right voltage, but I thought that cars could run fine off of just the alternator.
But if the alternator's not pushing, that's why the battery died.
Well, how was the car running then?
The battery.
Oh.
So the battery that's why the battery died. The alternator's not charging the battery, so everything's.
Does the alternator not just run the car?
It will if it's. So that's what I was telling you.
Yeah.
If it's internally regulated, it'll feed all the time. If it's ECU regulated, it won't feed until the ECU tells it to start feeding.
So it is the feeding one. It needs to, okay. So we were running the car, so eventually the battery would have died and the car would have shut off.
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
we were 2 minutes from this car shutting off.
Okay, gotcha.
So the thing is, I need to look at some wiring for the alternator harness, because the wire specialty harness, which I'm probably just going to go back into it, you can't see it, but it's right here.
Yeah.
So this is the specialty harness. It even says alternator. I'm going to wire this back in. I don't know why it's so long in the first place, so I need to do some research to see why I don't know if you should have it unplugged.
Yeah.
Because it's unplugged, or if there's something in here it needs to be wired to.
I think that it just came unplugged on
problem is, this is how we found it, with it just like stripped on the end.
Yeah, when he said that was like an important wire, so
and
maybe
it was just under here with a bunch of other stuff that wasn't even wired in.
The good news is though, it did burp really good, and it stayed at 180 degrees with a limp of a fan because it wasn't getting the right voltage and like brand new.
Honestly, you literally pulled it up, turned it off, and the car.
It barely. Yeah, I was gonna say when I was moving it up, if I let the clutch out at all, the car wanted to just like die.
Yeah, this morning I could literally use the clutch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right when I moved it back, I was using the clutch. It was running strong. No, the throttle like barely did anything. So I think that this might be a good stopping point for this video, though. I think I have quite a bit of stuff on here that happened. If not, then you guys will keep seeing more. But if this is the end, and you guys want to see what else we found with this thing, do not forget to drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment if we missed anything or things that you would change. I'll see you guys in the next one.